I'm going to get you some statistics here real quick. But utilities, whoops, I put dollars. I meant to put percent more. Had a client come in. Information tells, but stories sell. Had a client come in and they were like, hey, I asked them what their budget was. I'll just make up the numbers here for round numbers, but it was like 2,000 a month. And I was like, okay, cool. And I showed them one of our homes and they're like, 2,000 a month. Okay. And they start looking and the home they wanted was like 2,300 a month. It was like just enough out of reach that they really couldn't afford it. And they were renting at the time and they're paying rent that's, in that ballpark. And they're like, I don't want to pay. If I'm going to be paying the rent, I want to own the home. I was like, okay. So I just happened to think to ask them the question, what is your like electric and gas bills, like your heat and air bills per month on average? And they were like, oh my God, it's like 900 to 1,200 a month. And I was like, I said, so your overall monthly housing expenses, it includes the payment on the house, plus your gas and your electric and all of that stuff, right? That's really what your overall and insurance, right? All that stuff. So it's like they're paying the rent payment plus this crazy high heat and air bill. And I was like, well, I said the heat and air bill on this on average per year is about, or per month is about $110. So now the $2,300 a month payment was like a no-brainer. It was going to save them $600 a month off of what they were paying.
Yeah.
You know, so that is a vital component of this whole big picture. Don't forget about that piece of the puzzle. Um, Let me give you some numbers. Most heat and air systems that are 10 years old are running a 10 SEER AC. What's code today is 16 SEER, which is going to be roughly 50% more efficient. So a 10-year-old home, their air conditioning unit is going to be 50% more expensive to run than one built today. That's a big number. Let me give you let's see here. A replacement cost of a full heat and air system on a 10 plus year old home is going to average $8,000 to $15,000. That's a big number. So just trying to give you some round numbers, maybe that'll help you kind of understand. The dollar amounts could be slightly different, but I mean, that's a big number. I mean, probably on Brady's, it's going to be more like 5 to 9,000. And it's going to be like 8 to 15 on yours, Ashley.
Okay.
But it's still a big number because Brady's dealing with entry level price point. Um, and then appraisal. Expound on that, Brady. Appraisal being older versus newer. Touch on that.
Well, if there's a home that's, in a neighborhood that maybe I'm thinking not even a lot of homes sold or one was poorly renovated or something that caused an appraisal to be low, your house might not appraise for value. Where a new construction neighborhood, you've got multiple homes that have appraised that the appraiser is going to run their comps off of. So your appraisal is always going to come in either at or above, unless you get an idiot, which is one out of about four these days. But I mean, even just like I said on the inspection, the worry of will an appraisal come back well. I'm even thinking on one of my listings, I had a one that just went under. I was scared to death the appraisal wasn't going to come in good because a realtor had sold a house in the neighborhood way low just to get it gone. Same floor plan, same style, and I thought that was going to kill our appraisal, but we were safe. But
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a big deal. Um, on a 10 to 15-year-old home, on average, you're about 80% higher in your gas and electric bill. than you are on a new home built today. That's kind of wild. Um, so that's a big number. And I think for most consumers, when they're really, trying to stretch to that monthly payment they're trying to stay within, that could be the deal killer for them on a used home. Um, okay, any other challenges, objections, or obstacles?
No.
Okay. Brady, everything's going smooth?
Yeah, just
Okay.
work to get more leads. I've had 3 people call the phone about food stamps. I don't know what to do about that.
I don't know what to tell you about that either. One thing that I would say is on your, as far as leads, I would be focused in on realtors right now. You
Absolutely.
gotta
Yeah,
get
that's
you gotta get the realtor relationships, really going. That's huge. Um, so I would focus in on making as many calls to realtors as you possibly can right now if you don't have the people that are the next buyer walking in your door. If you got your next buyer, nail the next buyer down. If you don't have your next buyer, all of your time should be spent with finding the next buyer, right? That
yep.
goes through cycles. And um, I would say, somebody like you, Brady, since you've been doing this a little bit longer, I would say who make yourself, actually, all three of you should do this. I want you on your own sheet of paper, blank sheet of paper in front of you or whatever, make it as a note in your phone if you don't have a blank sheet of paper in front of you. Write down your number one realtor referral source name. Who is that person? You don't need to say it out loud. Write down that person's name. Now, write down numbers 2 through 5, write down their names. And if you don't know who these people are because you have not yet met them, you're like, Aaron, his name is Carl. Can't remember his last name, but he's definitely a Carl. I know you're making it up because nobody's a Carl. That's just Aaron's name for everybody who's not a real person.
I
Rest
feel
in
like
peace,
if Carl ever walked in here, I would be like, "Did Aaron send you?"
Is this a
Carl.
joke put on by Aaron?
Carl Carlton died yesterday, by the way. So,
I don't know who that is, but
um, you would if yeah, I'll send you the song. You know the song.
okay, all right. Um, but I think that it would be interesting for you guys to make that list, write down who those people are. And if you can't fill out 5, that tells you you need to figure out who those 5 are. If you only have the first one and you don't have the second one, you need to go find the second one. And I'm going to tell you right now, you probably need to do a presentation to at least 10 realtors to find the next one. When I say a presentation, I mean you need to call them, book an appointment for them to come into your model, and you need to give them a presentation in the model with that PowerPoint presentation. If you don't get that done, you won't get the next one on the list. And you're probably going to have to call 100 of them to get 10 of them to come in and do it. So it's just like, okay, what's the cost of getting the next one? It's 100 phone calls. That's the cost. And it's 10 presentations. If I get that next one now, okay, write down, you don't have to say this out loud, write down next to that first name how much money in commission you made from them this year. Ballpark it. Because they brought you somebody or somebody's, right? And that is how much that relationship is worth